Talk about what we just saw and heard there in Ferguson. Leonard Pitts, he's a Miami Herald columnist, and he wrote this op-ed, and this is the reason why we really wanted to talk to you, sir. But can you just react to what, especially what that young man said, and I wrote it down. He said, what's happening in Ferguson is way bigger than white and black. He said it's about power, it's about authority. Do you think he's right?
He's exactly right. White and black sometimes are, stand-ins for power and authority. But this is about white and black, but it's also about class divisions. It's about the things that we impose upon those who are, more vulnerable, whether because of race, whether because of class, whether because of both. So the same things that we're seeing here, we see perhaps in a slightly different flavor, but you'll see some of the same complaints. I would be willing to wager in lower income and more neglected majority white communities, majority Hispanic communities, majority Native American.
Mm-hmm. You write about the anger, you write about the screaming, the sort of the proverbial screaming, and you quote. We've all heard it, that these people they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think I know what you mean, just to a degree, but in your own words, what are people sick and tired of?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. If Michael Brown was the first African-American young man, say in the last 5 or 10 years to have had this experience, you would not see the kind of anger or the kind of eruption that you're seeing now on the streets of Ferguson. The fact of the matter is that you have to look at it in context. Michael Brown is part of a continuum of young African-American men who have been shot and killed under dubious circumstances or mistreated under dubious circumstances in this country. And then you combine that with all the stories that you don't hear, that perhaps are not, the encounters that perhaps are not fatal, but are degrading to your humanity, degrading to your spirit, that are violations perhaps of your civil rights or of your human rights that go on all the time, but are undercover. You combine all of that, and you get this toxic stew. That's what we're seeing, here in Ferguson. People are not just fed up over Michael Brown. People are fed up over all of the things that have led up to Michael Brown.
It's a toxic stew that is boiling over at the moment in Ferguson.
Yes.
And I noticed something you write about this, and you quote, "This bitter sense of siege that lives in African-American men."
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I feel that way. I think every African-American man has felt that way at some point or another. For me, it's probably a little bit different than it is for a lot of other people because of what I do for a living. I write a newspaper column, so it's less a thing of being stopped by police for no reason, although I certainly have had that happen, than it is for me a thing of trying to reason with people, only to discover that people are not really in a mood to be reasoned with on issues of race. For me, it's talking about a Michael Brown and getting back a reader comment that the young man got what he deserved, or that some other young man who's killed without apparent reason or without apparent provocation got what he deserved. That's sort of the state that we seem to be in as a nation right now, where this kind of rabid hatred is enjoying a kind of resurgence and, frankly, a kind of intellectual cover that it has not had since probably the 1960s.
Reading so much just recently about Watts and incidents of that time in the 60s, and how so many people are saying this is a flashback, and some are saying it seems even worse. Leonard Pitts, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll make sure we push people to your columns at the Miami Herald. Thank you so much for coming on.